Welcome to the Stornsurf video surf forecast for the Indian Ocean for the week starting Sunday, July 20th. Brought to you by Kandui Resort in the Mentawai Islands, a great place to go surfing. First up, let's take a look at significant wave heights for the Indian Ocean. 18Z Sunday. Small gale, 34, 35 foot seas in the southwest Indian Ocean. One of a series, and with many more to come. We'll get into the details here in a second, but clearly more swell generation is occurring. This is capable of generating 18-second period swell, radiating into the usual targets: Western Australia, Mentawai Islands, Bali. The beat goes on. Let's take a look at jet stream level winds. These winds, up at 30,000 feet or higher, help support the formation of gales in lower levels of the atmosphere and also direct their travel path when they do form. What we're looking for is troughs, that is, winds of decent strength, preferably 130 knot winds, pushing up to the north. That helps form a clockwise circulation, which is consistent with low pressure in the southern hemisphere, and that helps support storm formation. Currently, we have a trough south of Madagascar with low pressure in that area. Otherwise, ridge under Australia supporting high pressure, so this is the primary target or prime area for gale development at the moment. As we put this in motion, notice winds continue in the 160 knot range, pushing up into this broad trough. That's good for supporting gale development, and notice the trough just continues. We're into Tuesday now, pushing to the east, with more wind building behind it and a good amount of wind up here at the apex of the trough. That is 160 knot winds. Now those sort of push down a little, so that would tend to favor the swell vector, or at least the storm track going a little bit more to south. But still, by that point in time, most of the damage gets done over here in terms of swell generation. Roll this into motion. A bit of a ridging pattern develops, but it looks like a trough is coming in off of South Africa. And sure enough, you're into, by the weekend, Saturday, a very powerful trough at one point there. Look at that. That's 180 knot winds feeding into that trough, and that continues to work its way into the Indian Ocean. So this looks like a continuation of this great upper level pattern and this great surface level pattern that is taken over the Indian Ocean. The rest of the world, South Atlantic, South Pacific, pretty calm. All the energy seems to be focusing, for whatever reason, on the South Indian Ocean, and certainly the rewards are being noticed there. Next up, we'll take a look at surface level pressure, surface level winds. Surface winds, of course, are what generate seas. That is that raw energy they stir up at the ocean surface. And as those seas radiate away from the fetch, or the wind that create them, turn into swell. And swell, of course, is what makes surf when it impacts coastal locations like the Mentawai Islands, Western Australia. Currently, gale, 45 knot winds over a small area in the almost central South Indian Ocean. Aimed reasonably well up at the usual targets. Let's put this into motion. That one starts fading out, but a new, much stronger gale starts developing on Monday, south of Madagascar, with 45 knot winds, aimed well on the pass up to, but mainly the Mentawais, but to a certain extent Western Australia. Look at that, 50 knot winds by mid-Monday, pushing well to the northeast. Look at that, right up the 210-degree path, it looks like, up into the Mentawai Islands. That's actually, let's roll that back and look at that. If it follows that path, that's great. That's exactly what you want to see, is fetch pushing right up towards whatever target you happen to be looking at. More 50-knot winds into Monday night and Tuesday, and then even 55-knot winds over a small pocket. This is most impressive. Solid storm just makes its way the whole way across the South Indian Ocean, followed by yet another system on Wednesday night, well to the south though, and not looking as strong as the previous system. But look at this, even by into Friday, covering a large area, 35 knot winds. This is more targeting Australia, but sideband energy certainly will radiate up into the Mentawais as if they need it. There'll probably be piles of swell from that previous system. And here we go again. We're into 150 hours out, Saturday night. 55, 60 knot winds in the far western Indian Ocean, right up the 225-degree path to the Mentawai Islands again. A bit too far away to be optimal for Western Australia. Put that into motion, and that guy just plows right on. Oh man, that's a solid-sized storm too, if it comes to fruition. 180 hours out. Again, aimed up the Mentawai's 215-degree path, and Western Australia about the 232-degree path, it looks like. So, much energy at the surface. Let's go see how this manifests itself in terms of seas. So here's the current significant wave height chart as we saw before, barely 36-foot seas here. This part of a previous system that pushed under South Africa, 18Z Sunday. That system continues pushing east, fading out a little. Here comes the next system under Madagascar on Monday, quickly building up to 42-foot seas. And actually, let's go back. Let's just take a look. There you go. That's that looks about 218-degree path. Actually, watch it track up the 220 to 218-degree path to the Mentawai Islands, and then starts pushing a bit east of that path, building more into. We're into Tuesday night. We're into 48-foot seas. Relative to the Mentawai Islands, that's on about the 200-degree path. Actually aiming pretty east of there. Still, good sideband swell will occur for the Mentawais if this forms. Much better energy aimed towards the Margaret River area up about the 238-degree path. So another long period swell looks likely if this system goes as forecast for the Indian Ocean. Secondary system forming right after that down on Thursday evening. Not nearly as big as the previous 30-foot seas, but swell again. And yet, here we go, another strong system under South Africa a week out on Sunday. 40-foot seas or so, and again aimed up the, about the 218-degree path again to the Mentawai Islands and a bit towards Western Australia. Just for fun, we built another chart. This is all the significant seas greater than 20 foot over the entire 7.5-day run of the model, just to get a sense of how much of the Indian Ocean is going to be filled with swell producing seas. The 20-foot seas, good for maybe 13-second period energy, but look at this core here. A good elongated, wouldn't call it a fetch, but it's more of a storm track, the track of the storm and the maximum damage it can do. And a good chunk here of 46 to 48, almost 49-foot seas in this area. 40-foot seas going almost from South Africa, almost the entire way across the Indian Ocean, right through the heart of the swell window for the Mentawai Islands, Bali, and Western Australia. So this is really good news. This has been projected for a while. Clearly, we expect it to bear itself out. The models have been very stable. This is looking very good. So another long period, solid-sized swell event looks likely for the Mentawai Islands later in the week. So the Indian Ocean continues to be the dominant location for surf this summer. Great place to be. Another complex storm with good sea heights is forecast for this region. If you have your trip already booked, you're going to score. If you can get an opening, it might be worth getting over there, making a last-minute trip. It certainly looks like a good swell is going to be developing over the next 4 to 5 days. And of course, a great place to stay would be Kandui Resort in the Mentawai Islands. It's a catcher's mitt for all these swells. Make your reservations if you haven't already. Hope you've enjoyed our forecast. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Thanks. Bye.